And the quadratic equation is, and this will be given to you on exams, x equals minus b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac, square root of all that, over 2a. Okay? So let's substitute our a's, b's, and c's into this. So our b term is minus 10.8, so a negative of negative 10.8 is 10.8, positive 10.8, plus or minus b squared, so this is negative 10.8 squared, minus 4 times a, which is 49, times c, which is 0.49, and then we're going to divide this whole thing by 2 times 49. Okay? Now I'm going to have to do some work on my calculator, and you'll see that there's two possible answers because there's a plus or a minus. Many times there will be a negative answer that you can ignore. Sometimes there will be two positive answers, but one of the positive answers doesn't make sense because, say, that it gives you a change that's larger than the initial concentration. So you're always going to have one answer that makes sense and one answer that doesn't. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take this 10.8 squared, that gets rid of the negative, minus 4 times 49 times 0.49, okay? And then take the square root of all of that, and I'll write that down, the answer to that down here. So this is 10.8 plus or minus 4.54, okay, over, oh, let's go ahead and multiply 49 by 2, 98, okay? So let's see which makes sense. Let's do both the addition and the subtraction here. So for the addition, if I add 10.8 to 4.54, and then divide that whole thing times 98, divide that whole thing by 98, I get 0.157, okay? Or if I do the minus operation, subtraction, 10.8 minus 4.54, and divide that by 98, then I will get 0.064. And actually I'm going to 0.16. I'm going to try to honor my sig figs here as I go because I've got 2 sig figs in my denominator here. So we've got two choices. We've got 0.16 and we've got 0.064. These are our two choices for x. Let's go back to the ICE table and see if we can choose one of these. So remember that x is kind of all over our ICE table here, and what I like to look at is x in this term right here in this equilibrium. So we're saying that the equilibrium concentration is 0.10 minus x. Well, if you take 0.10 and subtract 0.16 from that, if x is 0.16, then what you end up getting at equilibrium is a negative concentration, which does not make sense. So we're going to cross this out, and we're going to go with this concentration, which if subtracted from 0.1 will not give you a negative value. Okay, so x is 0.064. Okay, so let's come up with what our equilibrium values are. So our PCl3 at equilibrium is 0.10 minus 0.064, and that equals, and I'm getting that directly from the ICE table. Okay, I'm just plugging x into that equilibrium concentration. and that's 0.036 molar. We're going to put our units back in because it's a concentration. And then this also equals the concentration of Cl2, because the concentration of Cl2 is also 0.10 minus X. And then PCl5 just equals X. So it equals 0.064. And I use the same X value for all of these. So I have all of my equilibrium concentrations here, and I have used the quadratic formula and survived, and it's really kind of fun. Once you practice more and more of these, you'll get more facile and fast at it. So go ahead and practice more of these on your own.